So, fifth episode from the Alternative Podcast, 20 minutes, and today I am with Yusuf at Copenhagen Society of Entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. And Yusuf had made an impression on me many moons ago, a few months ago, when I had a meeting here. And I saw him on a video on the screen, and he was standing in front of me, and we had a conversation that months ago. And he was telling me about his business because he's an entrepreneur. He's a young, very young entrepreneur based here in Copenhagen in sales, promoting people who are in sales. And you're doing something interesting with that as well, which I want to tap into a bit in our conversation. Because you are taking people in sales and promoting them for companies, which is used to be the other way around, isn't it? But before we go into that, first we would like to hear from you, Yusuf, on one moment in your life when you were at your crossroads and you could have taken many routes and you took one that was less trodden, probably not so inviting. And how did it go? And when was this moment? And why did you choose to go on that path? And how did it go for you? And we'll start from there.
Amazing. Thank you for inviting me, first of all. And I want to say, first and foremost, I think every day I'm facing new crossroads. So it's never ending. It's an endless cycle.
Yeah.
I want to say one crossroad, when you wrote me the question, before the podcast, I immediately thought about the beginning of my journey when I started the whole business venture, not the business I'm running today, but the first venture I went into. Is, you know, the criticism you can receive from family members, from friends, and just like your general circumstances, your environment in the beginning, because you're not taking a traditional road, you're taking the less conventional road, and you're taking a risk. And I think because my parents came from the Iraq War to Denmark in 2000, they had this thought and dream that once we get to the border and once we get to Denmark, they having a good healthcare system, a good school education system, so my kids can have the best outcome, right? Yes. So that was the dream, and that was what kept them awake the whole trip and the whole war they had to go through. For me to be 18 and then deciding I don't want to take an education, it's a big shock for them. Yeah. So I reached a lot of criticism of taking the entrepreneur road, and I said to my parents, I don't want to take the education away. I ended up taking a degree in CBS at the same time, but I found a balance because I could study twice a week over there. It was like a partial study and not like full-time study. And I did that while I was going into the entrepreneur road, and also being 18, 19 back at that time. So I was young, and I was also very naive, and didn't know a lot and didn't know a lot of people. So that was a crossroad, whether I had to follow my parents' expectations or follow my own fantasy dream that hasn't been confirmed that would be a true reality.
Yeah. Did you have other people in your life that would say, okay, go, Yusuf, because they did that? Yeah. Or you didn't see so many out there in the society, like role models for young entrepreneurs who go?
I didn't see anyone in person that was outside of my family. I would say my older brother has always been the black duck. You know, he's always been the person that been going against the norms, and I was always the guy that followed the norms. So I think after a lot of years criticizing him for not, taking the right road, then kind of got inspired by the way he done it. And then I think he was the driving factor in the beginning. And then I think I found a lot of backup and support from people online, actually. Starting following a lot of nice entrepreneurs outside of Denmark that had the same mentality as me. And I think is that where I found the support. But I didn't know any friends or people in my environment in school or anything else that believed in that project. Everyone was thinking I was delusional.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And yet you did choose it.
I did, indeed.
And how was that moment when you just went like, okay, I'm just going to do this? And you said to your parents?
It was.
Or was it more like an internal process for you?
It was frightening. I think it was. It was nice, but one thing is that in a lot of years, I built up the confidence to the day where I said, okay, now I'm dropping everything and going full time. So it wasn't the first day when I said, now I have an idea and now I'll just drop everything.
Okay.
It took some years when I was testing a lot of different businesses out, and I was reading books, and I was reading podcasts and listening to podcasts, doing all of these things to gain enough confidence to have an evidence for my parents to be like, hey, I know what I'm talking about. So believe in me in this when I want to jump or launch this new business. So in a lot of years, and then when I turned 20, sorry, when I turned 20 and I wanted to go full time in my business that I'm running today, Bedri, I gained enough confidence that it wasn't that frightening. It was actually exciting to know that all those years of work and doubt has kind of led me to a position where like now you can prove to yourself whether you're just a talker or a walker, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was frightening in the beginning, but when you had to take the decision, I think it was exciting to show yourself whether you are the man that you think and say and believe you are.
Yeah. It's interesting because why it's interesting this moment, because most people think it's like you have very clear, some they do, they are born with some sort of clear image of where they want to go and they will follow this. But most often or not, the more people I talk to, it's a very messy beginning, kind of. You're trying things, you know something is not right, but you might not be. And how I hear you is that you tried new businesses and you listened and you read, so you didn't go completely like, you know what, I'm just going to do this without actually checking in, is this possible actually to be done? So you did your research in a sense.
Yeah, but not research in terms of reading, research in terms of trying and
trying,
pursuing, and then get the data.
Yeah.
Like get the test and get the response, the feedback.
But that's the best research in my opinion.
That's the real research.
Because
that's the
it's real, like kind of, it's not just theory, you know?
No, but the other research is that you just read about what other people have experienced.
Yes.
And that's an old picture of how it's done, you know? Yeah.
And it's their picture.
It's their picture.
And you are you.
Exactly.
So was it once you took that part, that role and that route, how was it for you? Is it because it's 2 years ago? Now you're a bit ahead and you can see, was it as challenging as you thought, or is it easier? What surprised you the most?
Oh, that's a very good question. Was it as challenging as I thought? No. No, I didn't think about the downsides too much, because why think about the downsides when you want to take a jump or take a risk? Like you want to program yourself, saying to yourself, this is the best thing you can ever do. Yeah. But once you're in it, you like can get a shock and surprise sometimes. I didn't believe that there would be so much panic, stress, anxiety, FOMO while doing it. Because there's like the honeymoon phase when you're starting a business, everything's amazing and it's just a cloud you're surfing on. And then the minute you are facing some obstacles and you're hitting a wall multiple times, you reflect in retrospect and thinking, okay, should I have done this? Should I not have done this? And compare yourself to other people in your age and seeing their success on social media, and you can end in that loophole of bad energy. So I wasn't actually surprised, because I didn't thought there would be so many challenges. But the thing is, I was glad about and started to be excited about was how I could turn this downside to be a positive side, because that's a part of the character you're building. So I think there was one guy I'm following, a guy named Alex Hormozi, who was saying that in the beginning you just have a sword. Now in the beginning you don't even have a sword, you just have a stick. You don't even have any clothes on. You're just like running around in the forest trying to beat animals to get some food, right? Yeah. That's you in the beginning when you're running a business. And the minute you kill your first victim and you start having food and you start, closing a client, all of this, to use that analogy, you're gonna face bigger and bigger challenges and bigger obstacles, bigger monsters.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be more weaponized. You're gonna have more armor on. You know, you're gonna be having a better standpoint. You're gonna have more resources to attack next time. And you know, so then when you're gonna get bigger, you're also gonna get better. So those challenges and obstacles are there to help you face the bigger monsters and the bigger challenges in the future. And that's how I see it and view it today.
Yeah.
That's why
So you're facing bigger monsters now after 2 years.
Yeah, but I'm all ready to face those monsters.
Yeah.
And when I say monsters, I'm not only thinking about the mental things, but
Yeah.
more in terms of like if it's a client or if it's if you want to expand to a new market in your business, or if you like having problems with your sales, you're not earning enough money and you have salary to pay and this and that. You see there's a positive side now. You see like, okay, nice. If I can overcome this dark period, a bad period, I'm ready for the next chapter. I'm ready for the next level and next part of the business. Yeah.
Do you think this mentality that you have, that you take a challenge as something that you can learn from and turn it, is that something that you learned through your childhood or through being an entrepreneur, or is something that you have? It's a complicated question, I understand, but I'm also curious because some people feel like they are born not to fix everything, but they're not faced by challenges. Yeah, you go probably screaming and go like, oh, this is shit, what am I doing, you know? But they don't let the challenge deter them from the goal or get them depressed or anxious or really broken down. So what do you feel about yourself in that sense?
I think that everyone gets to find a role that you have to play.
Yeah.
And every family has a child or a person in that family that has a role. The funny one, the stupid one, the black dog, the intelligent one, like everyone has a role and you get that role to begin with. And for me, like I see that a man is just born as a blank slate to begin with, and then he can build himself up. And I think over a lot of years, I just continued developing myself, developing this role that I wanted to be a provider and a protector. It's a bit cliche to say, but it's that role I found myself more masculine in.
Yeah.
Like I really embodied that side of me and that side of my personality. So I just like to be that person to solve and fix other people's problems. And then when the thoughts of becoming an entrepreneur came in, I was just like, hey, I've kind of already been preparing myself to do this. So I think in a lot of years, you prepare yourself to do a certain thing without knowing what you have to do. And then you figure it out that you're ready for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everything plays in, of course. We have that.
So I don't think it's something you get born to, but you get born through it. Like it's what happens in different phases of your life dictates where you want to be and how well prepared you are to take that challenge, or how well prepared you are to take this that jump in whatever it is, whether it's an education, like being an actor or being an entrepreneur. Yeah.
But you mentioned that you said that it's like a role that you are given. So I wonder which one was it for you and your family? Were you the funny one?
No, I was the corrector. I corrected everyone, and I was the psychologist.
For the delight of the other ones?
Yeah. I was the therapist.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the therapist, and I am still the therapist. But the thing is, it was so hard for me to be a therapist against myself, but so easy.
Of course.
To be a therapist against other people, right?
Easiest.
I was the therapist, and I was the guy that was just always good in school, but like didn't really believe that school was for me. Yeah, so I didn't really put a lot of. I was the person that was not dedicated at anything. I didn't put fully like 100% my heart in everything I did. I played a lot of football, didn't do it. School, didn't do it. But I knew I could do it if I wanted to do it. But I didn't have the mentality to do it.
Okay.
I really didn't. But then I saw my brother that didn't have anything to begin with. Like he was really just building himself up from scratch.
Okay.
Like he didn't have any natural abilities. He didn't believe that he had them though.
Yeah.
Everyone has them, and then he built that up, and then I was like, okay, he's actually far ahead than me. And I thought that I was ahead of him. But it's because he has this mentality. And then I took that mentality, or he kind of programmed that mentality into me, and then I got the nice combination of being a natural, like a natural talent in understanding things very quickly and adapting them, but also having the mentality to go all in on what you do. When I became 18, yeah.
That's interesting. The way I see it is that it's like a cocktail, a mixture of things that play into our lives. Of course, we have agency at one point. As kids, we don't have as much, but we grow up and then we do, and we have a box of a toolbox with things that are inherited, and some they are put on us, and now there is time to choose which one you use and when you use it. But do you think it's also something related with luck or faith, or does that play anything in your
Yes, I absolutely believe
life,
it. Yeah, I absolutely believe. I'm religious myself.
Yeah.
I believe that the harder you work, the luckier you get. First of all, it's all math. When you talk about luck, it's the odds gets bigger the harder you work. That's logical. So, and I think that in terms of faith, I have a natural force of going through challenges easier than others maybe would when I compare myself to people around me that doesn't have faith.
Okay.
Because, and when I say faith, it's not only religion, like faith in what you do, like faith in yourself, because faith comes from believing.
Yeah.
Not only in spirituality or in God or anything like that,
but also in yourself.
Have a faith in what you do and who you are.
Yeah.
So when I have that, it's kind of an extra person you're carrying with yourself, right? It's an extra soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe it plays a big role.
Big role.
Absolutely.
I have that same as well. I believe a lot in myself, in my skills. That's why I can be thrown into the deepest end. I'll figure it out somehow, because I've been thrown into the deepest end as a kid, and I have this faith, and I learned through years also in trusting the universe. For me, faith is the universe. Call it God or whatever it is. The name doesn't bug me too much, but is this that not everything is in my control, because I love to be in control as well.
True.
And I know we have agency and we can do a lot on ourselves, but there are some things that are completely not in our control, and to be also aware of that and flow with it once in a while. So do you find yourself in between, like kind of, you have a goal with your entrepreneurship to be successful? I assume is that one of the goals?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, one of it. Too, I heard you talk about that you are like a protector and provider, which is so nice and so welcome. I think in that, in the society that we live in, which masculinity and femininity are at war, and sometimes I go like, okay, clarity and some sort of like, and it's beautiful to hear. I'm not saying that the feminine cannot be provider, actually it can, and be a protector, but in a different way. And I think to see masculinity in empowered and embodied way, it's beautiful to see in such a young age. I just wanted to tell you that. It's lovely. But I wanted to ask one more thing before the time is off, and maybe we make it for 20 minutes. Besides that, you talked about faith, and you talked about roles and your choices and your clarity that you wanted to do this and you tried new things that played into this moment, and you jumped into an unknown, and you're seeming to navigate this and take challenges as they come and get better at it. What would you say to someone who is facing crossroads today and is young and as naive and clueless as we are all, actually, even at older age?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
We are still. What would you say to someone facing crossroads? What would be the advice that you probably would have liked to hear, maybe, at that time?
It's not as bad as... That's what I want to say. No.
No, you have to finish your thought.
It's not as bad as you think it is.
Yeah.
And I understand why you don't want to take the risk and the big jump, because you have the safe choice here and you have the unsafe choice here. With the safe choice, you know what the facet is, you know what the result is. With the unsafe choice, you don't know what the result is. But the price of the unsafe and the unpredictable is usually higher than the safe choice. So I think it's a lot about where you want to be in your life and how high you want to aim, and how much you trust your own abilities and your own personality. If you trust your own skills, and if you trust yourself and have faith in yourself and faith in what you do, I think you're born to take the unpredictable way. And if not, you are at the same level in a lot of other areas, and you like comfortability more than uncomfortability, and that's how it is. We need both people and both archetypes in our lives.
Yes.
But the best advice would be that think about the outcome. Think about the outcome, because usually you put more or less the same input, but the outcome is higher in the road that is unpredictable, usually. Yeah.
Usually, yes. Yeah. And I hear you. It's the impact and what you want to do, actually. It's a very internal question to go clarify what do you want to do.
Yeah, and it's not only about materialistic things or success. It's very undefinable. It's a lot about how much value do you want to contribute with overall. That's what it is. How much value you want to contribute. And value can be love. Value can be money. Value can be, in my essence, my business, giving jobs to other people. Having the audience to make a podcast and tell your story, that's value. All of these things that you wanna do in the future maybe is bringing value, usually comes with a price, and that price is taking the unsafe and unpredictable way.
Yeah.
There's no light without dark, so you gotta go through the dark to get to the light.
Yeah, that is true. And even if you don't take the alternative route, you get one that is safer or more conventional. Many people have walked that. There is no guarantee that you won't have challenges and darkness.
Absolutely.
Of course, life is like that.
Yeah.
I think life is just problems all over.
There's no shortcuts.
No shortcuts.
No.
So, but what I hear from you is that, yes, if you have the itch and you have the desire to aim for something that the conventional road doesn't provide for you, then you'll have to take that one.
Exactly. It's all about what kind of life do you want to design around yourself. So figure out what life you want in the future, and if you don't know it, you have an idea of what kind of life to begin with, and then take the choices and take the ways that is helping you design and build that life to become that reality. I think it's all about starting with the life you want, and put it in detail. Like, what kind of person are you when you wake up in the morning till you go to sleep?
Yeah.
That whole day, which is the dream day, how does it look like, and what do you have to do in order to live that life? Start there.
That's not an easy question.
It's not.
It's not an easy.
And it's not a final answer to that. It's
and it can change.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
But and I think a lot of final note is that a lot of people are always saying start with the why. Start with the why. Some people don't know the why in the beginning, and always revert it to say why not. Why not figure out how much impact you can have in the world? Why not figure out how much information you can gain, how many people you can connect with, how many money you can earn? Why not figure all these things out? Instead of thinking about having the answer to begin with.
That's a good question. Why not? Why not? Exactly. And even if it's not the right thing,
exactly,
it might be just the right thing to do now.
Worst
to
case,
know that it's not the right thing for you.
That's
because
the worst
it's
case.
feedback. It's constantly. Life is you learn and feedback. But I think if you are at the crossroads and you're facing literally the gap, take the jump, because I don't think there is a wrong or right answer.
There's
even
not.
if it doesn't go well. That's a good answer too.
Exactly.
So.
And you can always take the other direction later in life.
Yes. Yeah. Nothing is fixed
Nothing
forever.
is black and white. No, it's not.
So I love that message, and I'll keep it in mind. But that's to imagine how is your life. It's a really good question and a deep question.
No, but that's what I did.
You did that?
I bought a whiteboard from IKEA.
Okay.
And I went home and I took a drawing pen, and I was just like writing so much text on that whiteboard with different colors, and I was just putting everything on this whiteboard, and I just placed it on the wall, and I looked about it every single day, and I thought, did this change, or is it really the life I want to live? And it did change over years, but when I looked at it, I was like, okay, this is the life I want. Now I've reverse engineered it. Now I can start to think about, okay, do I have to become an entrepreneur in order to live this life? Yes or no? Do I have to live in Denmark in order to live this life? Do I have to have a family? Can I have a family when I'm 25 to live this life, or can I not? Like, then I asked the questions, and I was okay, is it worth sacrificing, or is it not worth sacrificing? So I did the pros and cons to rationalize it.
Yes, to rationalize it. Yeah. Well, my advice would be for anyone, get in touch with Yusuf. You're extremely open for conversation, and your attitude comes through. Hence, you're here. Because you made an impression that day, many months, to wrap it up, where you opened up just simply because we were standing on the same, we were sitting across, and I was waiting. And your attitude, the curiosity and the openness to just share, it's beautiful to have in this day and age. In a world that it gets a bit more close and tight, we are holding all our balls into our chest and don't share. You're quite the opposite of a human in that sense. So.
You set the example you want to change, so that's the best way to start. I appreciate that a lot, Nora.
My pleasure.
Thank you for the invitation.
And no, thank you for telling me that you want to come on, because that I thought you're so busy. When I look at your content, I go like, oh my God, this man, what is doing? Does he sleep? Okay, so do you sleep actually on that note?
No, not at all.
No, you don't sleep.
Of course.
You do take care of yourself.
I do. I just don't show it.
Okay.
Because that's irrelevant. Like you talked about whether the content you do is aligning with what you want to do. I have fun, of course.
Yeah,
I do.
Okay.
It's important.
Good to hear.
It's important.
You don't have to show it on LinkedIn, on Instagram, but it's good for me.
Absolutely.
Also, as a parent, going like, you do take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Very good. And I'll share the details where people can find you.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for sharing so openly.
Appreciate it. Thank you
so much. It's so nice. And makes me not just hopeful for humanity. I never lose hope in humanity. I'm an eternal optimist in that sense. Though sometimes I go like, what the hell are we doing, really? So I do get like, oh, okay. But I go, okay, we can do better. We can do better.
Absolutely.
So it's so nice to see that we are doing better. And the next generations are even better, which is nice. Not everyone, but hey ho, there is hope.
We're setting the example.
We set the example. We are all actually examples to each other.
We are.
Thank you.
I appreciate it so much now.
Yeah?
Thank you so much.
Oh, and I want to hear more. Maybe you'll come back.
Maybe off cam, maybe we'll do it. We'll have a 2-hour conversation.
Yes.
Perfect. Amazing.
That would be nice. And on that note, and of course we went over the board because it never happens 20 minutes with me, forget it. But we'll see you next week. I'll probably be in Folkemøl's doing it rough between the tents.
Amazing.
The next episode, the 6th episode.
I'm excited to see that. Amazing.
I'm not so excited, but hey ho, you will. So on that note, I'm going to just go.
Perfect.